Expect more. This is Channel 6 News Weekend.
They loved her. They loved her like a mother. And just difficult.
Turning to a higher power following a tragedy that claimed 3 lives. Good evening and thanks for joining us here on Weekend Edition. I'm Imani Payne. A local pastor is asking the community for prayers tonight. This after learning a member of his church was one of 3 people killed in a violent wreck, and several other church members are still recovering from their injuries. Officials say the crash happened on Highway 174 in Hill County yesterday. Pastor Tom Brand of the Father's House in San Saba is devastated. He says church leaders and married couple Daryl and Teresa Hoyt were driving 2 separate vans of children. They were headed to a church camp retreat when the accident happened. Officials say a truck drove into the opposite lane and crashed into the van Teresa was driving head-on. She was airlifted to Scott and White in Waco, where she later died. Brand says he's in shock.
Her last words was to the girl in the front seat with her. She turned and smiled and said, "It's going to be all right." She gave her life to this ministry, and then spiritually and then physically now she has.
Officials say the passenger and driver of the pickup truck died at the scene. The other church members injured during the crash were taken to the hospital and are expected to be okay. Around the country today, millions gathered in protest to say they believe families belong together. That includes right here in Central Texas, where about 100 people are expected to rally in Waco. Curtis Quillen is there for us. He's got a look ahead to tonight's rally. Curtis.
6 News.
Thanks, Curtis. A Harker Heights police officer is recovering in the hospital tonight after being involved in an accident. It happened around noon in the 100 block of East Central Texas Expressway. The officer was riding a police motorcycle and trying to catch up with a traffic violator. That's when the officer lost control of the motorcycle. He skidded out into both lanes of traffic and into the driveway of a local business. The officer was taken to Scott and White and remains in the ICU tonight. An investigation is ongoing. Well, it's time now for a first check of our weather. It was pretty nice out today. Here's a look from our downtown Temple studios. 96 degrees outside right now. And meteorologist Zach Scott is standing by with all of the details. Hey, Zach.
Hey there, Imani. Waco's coming in at it. We'll have more details on that coming up, Imani.
All right, thanks, Zach. A man is behind bars tonight after robbing a Salado Sonic at gunpoint and fleeing the scene. The arrest happened early this morning near Sparta Elementary in Belton. Now, if you remember, police say Michael Wayne Ellis walked into a Sonic off of I-35 in Salado last week. He pulled a gun and got away with cash. This morning, Bell County Constable Thomas Prado and several other agencies tracked Ellis down. He was sleeping in a culvert in Belton. Prado says he's proud of the team effort shown by law enforcement today and says he's glad this criminal is off of the streets.
I understand he was trekking through the woods. I've been in contact with him, just trying to get him to turn himself in. It was a very difficult task, but this is what we do, and we bring the bad guy in.
Ellis was taken in without incident. He's facing a charge of aggravated robbery. His bond is set at $250,000. Talk about a neighbor dispute that got out of hand. A Caldwell County man is in jail tonight after investigators say he used a snake to get revenge on his neighbor after an argument. Police say Felton Ryan Saunter and his neighbor Keith Monroe got into some sort of disagreement. While Saunter was walking away, officers say he saw a rattlesnake on the ground. They say Saunter picked up the snake, bit its rattle off, and then released it into his neighbor's RV home. Monroe says he's still wrapping his head around it all.
I haven't seen or heard anything like that since the old cowboy days. You know, they used to throw a snake in a room with the 2 gamblers, and whoever got bit won. I didn't know what to think. I was like, I was scared.
Police say Saunter did confess to the crime. He's facing a charge of deadly conduct and trespassing. A tribute to our nation's veterans has been removed just days before July 4th. A mural dedicated to those who served has been painted over, and it's got people fired up. Damon Fernandez spoke to the artist. People in the area say the issue won't stop here. They're fired up and sharing their concerns on social media, demanding answers from property management. Well, still ahead on Channel 6 News Weekend Edition, fallen soldiers were honored at Fort Hood. We explain.
More in the mid-90s. So we'll be watching to see if we watch the latest trends to see about our rain chances and maybe the cloud cover helping keep temperatures cooler.
You know, I'm always talking about how much I love the heat, but I feel like I've jinxed myself.
Yes,
I
you
have
did
to
it last
admit,
week. It was her
It's been
fault.
brutal.
Yes.
Just getting smacked in the face with the heat. But
It was you last weekend talking about this.
it
You love
was
the heat,
me.
bring it
I
on.
admit it. I admit it. So,
right.
anyways, thanks, Zach. Well, sports is next.